Animal Farm, Chapter 6. The animals worked really hard all that year, but they were happy because their work was for them and not for greedy humans. In August, Napoleon said they would have to work on Sunday afternoons too. They could choose not to, but if an animal didn't work, he would only get half his food. Still, some things just didn't get done. They didn't gather as much food, and some food was never planted at all. Building the windmill was also hard. They had plenty of stone, but they had no way to break the stone into smaller pieces. They could not use human tools, so they had to drag huge rocks to the top of the quarry and drop them over the edge to break. It took everyone working together to pull the large stones, and sometimes they didn't break. Boxer was the only reason they could get anything done at all, because he was stronger than all of them and worked harder than ever. Clover would try to get him not to work too hard, but he would only say, "I will work harder," and Napoleon is always right. During the summer, the animals were okay, even if they had less food. But they started to run out of things they could not make for themselves, like oil, nails, string, dog biscuits, and horseshoes. Soon they would need to replace tools, buy seeds and manure, and get machinery for the windmill. One Sunday, Napoleon announced that he had decided that Animal Farm would trade with their neighbors. He would give away some hay and wheat, and if they didn't earn enough money, they would have to sell the chickens' eggs. The hens should welcome this sacrifice as their own contribution towards building the windmill. The animals were not comfortable with that. They thought they had decided never to deal with humans, to trade with humans, or to use money. A group of pigs started to say something, but the dogs began to growl, and the sheep started chanting, "Four legs good, two legs bad," and everyone forgot about it. Napoleon finally said he had set it up so that he was making all the contacts, so the other animals didn't have to. A man named Mr. Whymper would visit the farm on Mondays to get directions from Napoleon, and then do all the farm's business. Napoleon ended his speech with his usual cry of, "Long live Animal Farm!" And after the singing of Beasts of England, the animals were dismissed. Afterwards, Squealer assured them that there had never been a decision not to trade with humans or use money. It was probably a lie that Snowball had told everyone. Some animals thought that wasn't true, but Squealer asked them, "Are you sure? Is it written down anywhere? Do you have records?" None of the animals had anything written down, so they were sure they had made a mistake. So Whymper started his visits. The animals avoided him, but were proud to see Napoleon giving orders to a human being. The humans outside the farm hated Animal Farm more than ever and were sure that the farm would go bankrupt and the windmill would fall down or never work. Jones gave up and went to another part of the county, and there were rumors that Napoleon would enter into a deal with either Pilkington or Frederick. The pigs moved into the farmhouse and started to live there. The animals again thought that they had agreed no one would live in the farmhouse, but Squealer said they were wrong. The pigs, who were the thinkers, needed a quiet place to work in. It was also better for the leader, because that's what Squealer now called Napoleon, to live in a house. But the animals were still upset because the pigs ate out of the kitchen and slept in the beds. Boxer said, "Napoleon is always right," but Clover thought she remembered a commandment about beds. She tried to read them, but she couldn't, and got Muriel to help her. "Muriel," she said, "does the fourth commandment say something about never sleeping in a bed?" "It says, 'No animal shall sleep in a bed with sheets,'" said Muriel. Clover didn't remember anything about sheets, but it was on the barn, so it must be right. Squealer came by to explain. "You didn't think there was a rule against beds, did you? A bed is just a place to sleep. A pile of straw in a barn is a bed. The rule was against sheets, which humans invented. We took off the sheets and sleep between the blankets. It's very comfortable. But we need them because we do all the thinking. We need our rest to do our job. Surely you don't want to see Jones come back. Of course, no one did. The windmill was soon half built. After the harvest, they worked harder than ever, spending all their time there. They had to stop in November because it was too wet to mix the cement. One night there was a bad storm where the wind blew so hard it blew tiles off the barn and rocked the buildings. The hens woke up in fear because they had all dreamed of hearing a gun go off. The animals discovered the next morning that the flagpole had been blown over and an elm tree had been uprooted. Then they noticed that the windmill was in ruins. They all raced to the spot, Napoleon in front. The animals stood around sadly, but Napoleon sniffed the ground. "Comrades," he said, "do you know who was responsible for this?" "Snowball!" he roared. "Snowball has done this. He came here in the night to destroy the windmill in revenge for us kicking him off the farm. I now pronounce a death sentence on Snowball. Animal hero second class and half a bushel of apples to anyone who captures him alive." The animals were shocked to think that Snowball could do such a thing as destroy what they had worked on for almost a year. Everyone began thinking of ways to catch Snowball. They soon discovered a pig's footprints in the grass a little distance away. They appeared to lead to a hole in the fence. Napoleon sniffed them and said they were Snowball's. He said they seemed to come from Foxwood Farm. "No more delays. This very morning we will begin rebuilding the windmill. We will build it all through winter, rain, or shine. We will prove to Snowball that he can't stop us. We will get the windmill done on time," shouted Napoleon. "Long live the windmill. Long live Animal Farm."